Now, let's see if that's a little bit better. Anyway, I'm back. Sven and Olaf just about killed me, and at insult to injury, I'm building another Sven. So I have some of them started. I started them while I was. I have a lot of patterns back here. These are really the only things I have cut out. This will make up most of his head. I'm not going to build that right now. What I'm going to build is his hips, because it's one of the few things that I can build on camera. And hopefully I can get through this one faster than the last one. I need to get a shipment of fur. So I'm basically going to have to do foam work today and tomorrow, and maybe into Wednesday, and then we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully I get the fur, and it'll be fairly fast because I do have the patterns for that. I just don't have all the patterns for the legs because they were being put together at the very end of this whole thing. So I think that's where we're at. So one of the things I found while I was getting ready today was just about everything I had set up for the old live stream no longer exists. It just, it still exists, but like all my preferences for restreaming had gone away. So I had to reset up all those today, which is why I was on a little late. All right. So this is a pattern for his leg, his thigh. I'm going to make it on this garage floor mat. And the reason for that is it's a little bit more rigid than the L200 I use for everything else. And I think I needed the structure. And the way I made the last one, what's nice about this is I've already made one of these. So I kind of know, what I'm doing, we'll say. Occasionally I do know what I'm doing. And what is this? What I'll end up doing is almost like how a ship is ribbed. That's how I'm going to do that. Make it less flat. And it worked really well last time. So you'll get to see that process. Anyway. And it's going to be built just a little bit different. I realize I have no pictures of the hips from the last one, but I should be able to improve upon it just a little bit on this version. And take it from there. So one of the drawbacks of the one that I already finished was there was no real good way to connect those hips to the body. What I ended up doing was making almost like a fish hook out of PVC pipe that fit into this hole, and they just kind of hung there. I have a couple of other ideas on how to do it, and we'll see if it actually works. But before I do anything, I'm going to mark the other one so that I don't get them mixed up. And I flip this one over so that... Oh, I should have marked that. Okay. Here's the original one. I'm going to line it up again and then mark where the hip is, just in case I need to use it. So I've been updating the Melonpool website lately, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm having so much problems with my computer right now, is because I have all my old Melonpool files on it, and I think it slows it down quite a bit. But Eric is giving me his old computer, which has a lot more space and a lot more RAM on it. On Thursday. So hopefully on Thursday we will see a marked improvement upon my videos. And what's nice is I'll have one that's dedicated just to the art stuff and one that's dedicated just to the video stuff. So it's been very interesting revisiting Melonpool after all these years. So I've come across comics where I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. Why did I finish? Why did I stop doing this? I could probably cut this on the bandsaw, but there's only 2 pieces of it, so I'm not going to worry about it. Oops. I feel like I need more light in here. I guess it's daylight savings time. Okay, here's one hip. Now, towards the end there, I was just flying by the seat of my pants, so I do not have all the patterns for this. As I got closer to the end of this thing, I was just basically building it and putting it in the box. So I'm going to have to rely on my memory of building this more than anything else to redo it. But along the way, I should end up making patterns for most of the pieces I'm missing. So. All right, so I got 2 basically the same flat hips. Okay. So what I did last time was I made 3 spines on here, or 3, I guess, what do they call it? Like sprues? Is that what they call them? Ribs, I guess. One there. One there. I'm just arbitrarily doing it. I love that I have no rhyme or reason to the way I'm doing it. The only thing I need to have enough room down here for a piece of PVC pipe. So, okay. Then I should do the same on this one. So what I'm doing is I'm transferring these lines that I just arbitrarily put on here to the other side of it. Hopefully this will work. They don't have to be exact. It's just be nice if they were exact. So then what I did was I'm going to cut off all these puzzle pieces on here. Make some straight pieces that I can use. I did a bang up job there. I end up with a lot of these scrap pieces, so I'm not really being too choosy about saving all of it. I don't think that's long enough, but I'll try. I'm muttering to myself. That's why I need people to watch these things. I'm so sick of Frozen, I can't even tell you. This was quite the undertaking. I gotta say, I I knew they'd be big jobs, but I didn't realize how big a job they were going to be. So the nice thing about this one is I am renting it, so I get to keep it and rent it out to somebody else later. The first ones that I made, the other one I made was they're keeping it, so I do not get the luxury of just reusing it, which is why I need to make two. It turned out there were about 7 yards of fabric on the last Sven, which was a lot more than I anticipated. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking it was going to be less than that. And that's kind of where I went wrong, because fur is expensive. Foam is expensive. And when the puppets get that big, it's surprising how fast you run through supplies. I think I used 8 of these floor tiles on it, and then I used what was it, about 2 sheets of regular foam just on Sven, and then a little bit of reticulated foam. Not a lot of it, but enough that it, I need to buy more. And then Olaf, I used almost an entire sheet of L200 on. And it just was the size of it. The size was so big that you just burn through that fur and foam really fast. I probably have way too many of these pieces cut right now, but it doesn't really matter. I need. Oh, that was brilliant the way I did that one. That's okay. It'll be fine. Okay. I need 6 of them basically. Do what I want. Do I what? Oh, I need a little bit more than that. But... Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make these ribs that I want to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up with this line, mark the ends. I know that I want to come up like an inch. I only remember there was about 1.25 inches that I did last time. Okay. Now I want to cut this without cutting me. Okay. Here's one of them. So then what I'm going to do, it doesn't have to be exactly. It's just going to be a structure that, boy, it doesn't even seem to fit. That's too short. That's too short. I may move this down to here just to make it fit, but just want to make sure I do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up the elevation of the side of this to make kind of like a ribbing sort of setup. So let me make another one of these real quick. Actually, let me make a paper pattern first. I may end up making it just a little bit bigger. Just make a new one. I mean, it's just garbage foam, so it's not like... I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to get rid of this one. Should be 13 inches, more or less. Let's see. Oh, it's a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, and I just want to basically give this some thickness so that it looks a little bit meatier than just a flat piece of foam. hopefully they fit. It fits well enough, I guess. And I'm going to glue this in place. I think I glued it the other time on this side of it. But I think I'm going to give it a little more thickness than I did last time. I think I'm going to put banding like this on both sides. So actually, so you can kind of see how that's going to taper it out a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'll put a taper on both of these and on this side, and then I'm going to leave this side square so that it basically just hangs there like that. And then I'm going to put some supports that go between them that keeps them more rigid, and then glue the whole thing in place. Hey, TC, how's it going? Making some legs. Let me get the other one started. And then once I have the ribbing in place, I'm going to cover the whole thing in upholstery foam to give it that shape. This is just to keep that in place, and then cover the whole thing in fur once that comes. I could probably just as easily have sculpted them out of styrofoam or something, but there's nothing easy about sculpting with styrofoam. So. Oh, those will be some ZZ Top size legs for sure. Okay, so they look huge, but let me tell you, they're pretty short for the size of this thing. The back that comes off the backpack is I think from nose to tail, I think was about 8 feet. Might have been more like 8.5. Anyway, it was pretty good size. So, like, these legs they almost hit the ground when you have them on. And it's basically as big as I could make them. Yeah, this thing got so big so fast. I couldn't even believe it. I probably shouldn't put on these back ones yet because it's going to make all the other ones even harder to do. But okay, so next up I'll do these little ones here, I think. All right. Okay, so this is, which one is this? This is left 2. Outer left 2. This is inner left 2. Well, that did nothing for me, but now the reason I'm marking this is because I don't want to use up a bunch of glue that I don't need to use. Those 2. Now, let me see if I can put these on so they don't come off. OL2. Ouch. Okay. I just want them to stay without poking through. Okay, let me get these labeled now. Okay, so this is outer right 2, OR2, inner right 2, So one of them fits almost exact, and the other one is just a little off, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right. So now I'll make this one. I'm just eyeballing about how big I think these should be. Based on the slope that I want from here to here and the curvature I kind of want to get. It also helps that I did this once before. So. Do you have any shows coming up, TC? Or are you done for the year? The Perfect Crime. I have a local toy con mid-month and then a few stops with Santa next month. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I've been taking a marketing class. It's actually for graphic novels, for kids' graphic novels. And one of the things that, I've taken arts class on, business for puppets. But I thought this marketing class for, because I don't do live shows, for graphic novels might be just as good for me. And one of the things that was readily apparent is I've got to start doing conventions again. So something else I need to think about. Tell you what, though, the major revelation I've got so far from this class was that I was not nearly the failure in comics that I thought I was. I just basically, I think that I was hanging out with a lot of people who were more successful than me, and it gave me a false sense of where I should be in my career. but we'll see. All right, so those are on. Oh, maybe I should do it the correct way. There we go. Okay, this is outer right 3. Inner right 3. That's 3. And outer left 3. Okay. Yeah, these don't have to be exact. They just have to work. You don't have to poof up the foam like I want it to. Let me know if you come back out this way. I'd lend a hand if you need. Oh, our Comic-Cons are much smaller and easier to handle. People are always amazing. I might do that. I think that's great. I have a friend that's in that area as well. So definitely would be fun if we both had booths close to each other. Although, who knows if I'll be doing puppet stuff at the booth. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's something else I'll think about doing, more. But yes, thank you for the offer. I will probably take you up on that. Okay. So you can kind of see how I can feel a pin sticking out. Oh, there it is. Just have to look. I just have to put my hand on it and I'll find it. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of start to see how that's starting to show the shape. And I'm going to bridge this gap. And then I'm also going to have another one here that'll bridge this gap. And that should be all the structure I need, other than the PVC pipe fitting down here, which I do not have yet. Okay, so I'll do this one. And I only need one of these. Actually, I should mark that on the. Okay, times 4. Times 4. Because it needs a flat section on the where it attaches to the body, which is why I'm not bothering to put it all the way around on both sides. I'm the upper one, I mean. Tucson Con had a mess of writers and graphic illustrators. Oh, yeah? I don't even know where I fall anymore. All I have found out in the years that I've been doing all this is that there's very little overlap between the fans of the Melonpool comics and the Melonpool puppets. So if I do a con, I probably should weigh which is the better use of my whatever I'm trying to sell. I mean, I don't basically have just the puppets if I'm doing more of a puppet related thing, and mention that I do comics, or do comics and mention that I do puppets, because you do pick up a few people that are interested, but the vast majority are like, yeah, I'm not into puppets. I just like graphic novels, or vice versa. At least that's been my experience. At Dragon Con, when I first started doing the Tilly books, I managed to sell I had all the Tilly books, or if not all of them, 2 of them. And I sold exactly 0 copies of it. But I did sell 6 of the Tilly puppets, but it was a puppet audience. So I guess that's proving my point. Oh my gosh. I think all I'm saying is that I just need to make sure that I I'm clear on who I'm trying to sell to. The Puppet Mayberry is great. Actually, the Puppet Melonfold characters are great for doing local news spots, because they can actually interview the characters, which I always think is great. Especially, and using any of the other characters are great too, because if the puppeteer is there, like if Eric's on camera as Ralph, or his puppeteering is as Ralph, you're sure to get a really good interview out of it. So, okay, so this is Sven Rib 1 EVA foam. Well, this is leg rib times 2. Well, once I get these ribs done, well, maybe I'll do the center supports just to show that, and then I'm going to get some dinner because I'm starving. Then I got to build some other puppets that they don't want on, or at least start mocking up later tonight. So I got a big night ahead of me. They don't want them on camera, so I'm resigned to using Sven right now for my feed. But next up, I'm going to build a Gonzo, try and figure out that eye mechanism. So that one hopefully will give me a little traction. Okay, so this one is oh man, sorry. When I went down there, I ended up leaving to hang out at Puppet Art Museum. There was way too much humanity at the Dragon Con for me. Yeah, well, you don't have that problem at the Puppetry Art Museum. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't been to Dragon Con. I think, when was the last year I went? Might have been 22. I'm not sure. 23 maybe? I think it was 23 because I was going to go back the year after that, but I got laid off. So, okay, this is outer leg 1 I guess it was outer left is what I was saying. You can start to kind of see how these legs are coming together, though. I used to use this technique when I would do paper mache ships and things. At least that was the idea. That was the path that led me down to this idea. This way. Okay, so now the real fun begins. So these are more or less straight, so I'm not going to worry about this one too much. So the reason for the second Sven, the reason for the second Sven is that I built the first one as a sail, and in the process of doing the first one, I built the first one as a something I sold, and in the process of doing the first one, another local place found out about it, and they wanted one for their production. So I said, "Oh, I'll already have the patterns. I can build you guys one, but it should be a rental, so that way I don't have to build another one. I get it back, and then I can rent it out to another one." So the one that had to go to Minnesota is already in Minnesota. And then this other one will be part of my collection, I guess. But I'm going to rent it out to other shows. So this is more structural than anything else. It's just basically to keep it in place. And I don't think I can make a pattern for it. I think that each one is going to be custom to the space that it is. But let me make this other one. I don't think I have any. We have to cut some more. But the problem with Sven and Olaf to some extent is they got so big and that I couldn't really do a lot on camera. And the same is going to happen with this one. I can probably do the head on camera, but the body is going to be way too big. I can probably do the legs on camera too. Are you back to regularly at streaming now? Yes. So I am. I'm going to be regularly doing it as long as I can for this project, and then I'll go back to daily again. So I'm going to be Monday through Friday until I get to a point when it gets too big to be on camera, and then, which will probably be next week, and then I'll probably take a couple days off to finish, and then I'll be able to actually do a video showing how they all went together, and then I'll be back Monday through Friday till the end of time after that. Oh, I almost hit that exactly. So that was, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a line here that I made, and I almost hit it exactly. So that was great. Okay, so yay me. And I'll mark all these, you know, where they go before I take it all apart to glue it. It's basically just to keep everything in place when I put the foam over it. So let me show you what that's going to do. So this is not cut to size and everything, but when it's laid over it, well, you can kind of see how it gets that curve that you want. I think I had the pattern here someplace that I used, which should work. Yeah, this is the one. So it'll go on here. Is that it? I have so many unlabeled patterns right now. But it's similar. Oh, wait, I think I know where it is. Well, it's similar to this one. I have a foam pattern, but there's a dart that basically goes, and then you just glue it all the way around. And I'll have to make a new one anyway, because I did change the pattern a little bit. But it just basically gets covered in foam. Okay, so let me do the other leg. The Jim Henson Company just put up a ton of puppets and props from auction. The Fraggles on auction are estimated value $20,000 to $50,000. Yeah, so just so you guys know, as of next week, all of my puppets will be sold for $20,000 to $50,000. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you know, not that I think that any average Joe should, you know, just be given these things. It's kind of sad that just these, you know, tech bros and millionaires and stuff end up with all the puppets and they're never seen. I'd much rather they get put into like the some museum, you know, the Puppetry Arts Museum or something like that. It makes me wonder, you know, where did all the money that they got for the Disney buyout go? If they're having to auction off all this stuff. The nice thing about those auctions, though, is oftentimes you get really good pictures, so you can kind of make better replicas yourself. Like there were some Statler and Waldorf puppet heads that were up for auction in Christie's a while back, and I use those quite a bit to get details and patterns and stuff, or not patterns, but extrapolate patterns off of. Oh, thanks, TC. Good to see you. I'll be back tomorrow for more punishment. I like the bang up job here. I may have asked you this, but have you built a Kermit or more than one Kermit before? I built a miniature Kermit for a friend of mine's kid who was really into Kermit. And I didn't do a real, like, it was definitely a kid's puppet. It was made out of polar fleece, and it was, I think, at 80%. But, I mean, it was a functional puppet size to work with a smaller hand. And honestly, if I built a Kermit, I would probably build it to my tiny little hands, because I had my hand inside of a Terry Angus Kermit years ago, and my hand was so small in it, I couldn't do anything with it. It just looked like a lizard that with Kermit's body is what it looked like. This skinny little head, because my hand was so small. But what I would do is I'd take the pattern and I'd build it in such a way so that it was just the size of my palm, and then extrapolate everything else from that. I'm not as much of a collector as much as somebody who is just trying to figure this stuff out. Like, I get really, I get a lot I get a lot out of figuring stuff out. Like, I have a couple of replicas I built that I really enjoy as replicas. Certainly Strange Pork is fun. I'd probably build, I'm going to build a Gonzo. So and that's because I'm a fan of Gonzo, but, I think this one's not going to be long enough. We'll see. But in Scooter, same thing. I would build a Scooter in a heartbeat that was more replica sake. But I'm not really somebody who is out there building, replicas to try and fill out my collection or whatever. It's more because I, enjoy doing the voice or whatever. That won't work. It almost works exactly. Oh, interesting. Okay, I gotta scrounge up one more piece of foam. This is the one I always use to drill into. But it doesn't really matter. I do I have a particular era of Kermit that I prefer? I'll tell you, it's interesting because for other characters, I could tell you that. I know I prefer Fozzie and Gonzo from the Muppet Show from Muppet Movie to Great Muppet Caper. Those are the two that I really like. Those, but Kermit. I mean, I like what do I like the ones where probably just after he got rid of the double collar. So early Muppet Show, maybe, or mid Muppet Show. Maybe Muppet Movie too. Just in the same era. Like I really like Piggy from Muppet Caper and yeah, probably Muppet Caper version of all the characters. Probably the closest. All right, so I got both those legs ready. Okay, this is inside right. This is left. Inside left. Right. This is left. Okay, so put the other one back together. I'm going to need a support in between those two. And I didn't have these on the other ones, so they may go the wayside, but I do think they need them because they got awfully flat there in the middle, right? In the backside. A few years ago, I built some Sam and Friends replicas. I built Yorick, Harry the Hipster, 1955 era Kermit, and an unfinished Sam. Oh, that's cool. I thought about doing a Yorick. He's such an interesting character. Okay, so I got basically the understructure of both these legs done. I got to glue them, but I'm not going to do those inside. I got to do those outside. So you can see how big these things got real fast. But they'll kind of hang on there like so. I still have to put a support between these two and probably down to the bottom here on this one. And then this will all be just left open. Maybe a couple of slight ones here just to keep it from falling over. But I'll cover the whole thing in upholstery foam after I get that fitting. And the thighs will be done on this one, which should be good. And I think I'm done for today. But at least I accomplished something. Yeah, it looked like it was paper mache. think Sam is built from mostly paper mache too, isn't he? I'm just amazed that they held on to those things all this time, because, you know, it's super easy to not think of something being in a museum someday. I think the Kermit, the original Kermit, was like in a little rocking chair in their front room for years before Jane donated it to the Puppetry Arts Center. Oh, Sam was made from plastic wood. Yeah, plastic wood doesn't really exist anymore, or there is a version of it, but it's a little different to work with. I have so many puppet books that just swear by it. But I guess it was super toxic. So 6 of one, half dozen the other, I guess. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. I'll be on at 5. And hopefully I don't have as many technical issues trying to get on, but I'll try to be on about 5 o'clock. So, all right, I'll see you guys.